up. Did anybody go to the 50th annual conference in Chicago earlier this year?
That's
Yeah, yeah. Okay, a few people, cool. I was there as well. I spoke there as well. Really good time. I'm from Texas, so I'm not a huge fan of cold. You know, I got my trench coat in the back, got vest on today, long sleeve. It's not for me. But let's get into why we're here. And here is purpose in motion, turning purpose into actionable plan. The last time I was here, I talked about SMART goals and how you go from having a thought to actually making it become a thing within 30 to 90 days. All right. Now that's the fancy protocol way to say it. What we want to tap into as we think about a SMART goal, or as we think about turning what we have inside of us into something that actually happens in real time, is having some type of system. So I encourage everyone to have their phones out, ready to take as many pictures as you want of the screen, of the slideshow. If you want the slide deck, let me know before they have to send it to you. All right. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'll fix that QR code at some point at the end so everybody can get scanned in and I can follow up with you if you want an extra conversation or additional tips. All right. But I always start off my classes here at TSU. For those who don't know, I am an advisor and an instructor for everyone's favorite class, freshman seminar. That's the 1 hour class that we feel like don't matter, but we still got to take it or they don't let you graduate, right? But in every class, I start off with a quote. Okay. Today's quote: "Dreams don't work unless you do." Okay. By John C. Maxwell. One of my favorite quotes of all time. I have this in my office. I have this at home. As soon as you walk in, it's the first thing you see. Because no matter how bad you want something or how much you feel it in your soul to accomplish, if you don't do nothing, ain't nothing gonna happen. All right. You will not make progress. So if we all good with that, let's move forward. I won't spend too much time on this slide, but these are a few bullet points of everything that I've done over the course of my career since I graduated from college back in 2011. Spent over a decade in corporate wellness. Within that, I was in education for a brief stint over at Lone Star back in 2014. I've made my way back to education, but through those years, I've been an educator in the sense of the word of helping different corporate wellness programs, oil and gas companies, engineers, consulting with companies for Shell, Halliburton, Apache Corporation, Motiva Enterprises, just a few names, okay? So that's who I am. I'm also a founder of a nonprofit as well, okay? So if you have any questions about my background or would like to know me better, which most people don't, but right. So, but that's me. Probably the best picture I have also. Okay, execution. Today's word is execution, all right? So as we grow up, a lot of emphasis is put on effort. How much effort are you putting in? How late can you stay up? How early can you wake up? How much work can you do from a quantity perspective, from a quantitative perspective? We want to talk about the qualitative perspective today. Now, quantity in itself does produce quality if done correctly, which is execution, all right? So that is today's term. Today's key term, today's key takeaway, and our bottom line is execution and how to do that better. The gap between vision and execution, okay, is a plan. As you can see on the screen, I'm in your way. Cool. I'm not gonna read it verbatim, okay? But the biggest component to why things don't work out is a lack of plan, a lack of structure, and some type of system. Intangible system, right? Because we have our mental systems, right? Like how we think about something, how we put it together, how it makes sense to us, but then what do we actually do? Any athletes or former athletes in here? Anybody play the sport on any level at any given time? You ever had a coach that's just yelling at y'all to like do something different or do it better, and they never actually showed you what to do? Like how to take that step or throw this way and not that way, right? But they want you to get it done, right? Which is why, as important as effort is, we must execute. In order to do that, we have to have a plan and a system in place. And without structure, purpose, what you really want inside of you to do, just becomes frustration. Just mad all the time. Because you're trying to figure out what you do. In anything. In school, in your job. I know some of you might work, but in your career, when you just start off in an entry-level position, in your relationships with money, some of y'all may be into crypto or stocks and trading. You'd be like, man, what stock do I choose? And if you don't know how to read that chart, frustration. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no real system in place, right? So we'll continue the conversation by saying that and understanding that purpose is why you do something, okay? Pretty clear. And the plan is underlined right there, how you do it. And we say how you do it because sometimes what you're doing is correct, but how you're going about it is wrong, all right? You could be going to a bunch of interviews, that's the what. Okay, pretty good. How you're interviewing may be poor, all right? So we need to know the difference and execute in that fashion, all right? Here's our first system and framework for the day. If you have a phone, take it out, take a picture of that. You might want it later. Our 3-step system, our first one, 3 Ps, purpose, process, and practice, all right? How we go from really wanting something to actually making it happen, which is inspiration to implementation. Know your why. Understand why you're doing something. Because on them days when you don't feel like doing it, it matters. For me, it's my daughter, 4 years old, going on 14. That's the purpose. That's my why. So when my alarm clock go off at 4 in the morning and I need to wake up and go to the gym, because if I don't, I'm not gonna go because she needs stuff and she needs that time. And then if I don't go, I'm not gonna take care of my health and that's not gonna be good for nobody, right? So I need to go, all right? That's my purpose. When I get up here, my purpose needs to be pouring into the next generation and giving these students things that I didn't have in college, that nobody could tell me because I was the first one to do certain things along that journey. The first male in my family to graduate from college. So I got my mom, my aunts, my granny, everybody telling me what to do and how to do it. And I'm just like, I don't know if I can talk to them like that because like I'm a dude, you know, but you can't say that, right? I was also an athlete in college. No student athletes in my family before I did that. Nobody could guide me there. When I'm looking at a degree plan and a degree audit, nobody could say, hey, this class is equivalent to this one. Don't retake this one. If you make a below a C in this one, you're gonna have to take it over. This shows up as credit, but don't count or help you graduate. Nobody was able to tell me that. Okay, it took me 5 years to graduate. It should have took me 4. All right, that's more money coming out of somebody's pocket in order to do so. Okay, and more time that set me back from actually making progress. So that's my purpose. All right. A few different whys in there, but know yours and own it. There's no right or wrong why. It has to matter to you. Understood? Cool. Number 2, process. What structure will help you get there? So when we think about our process, my number one thing to tell people, everybody want to be original, everybody want to do it their way. Go and study what has worked in the past for somebody else, okay? Just study it. Doesn't mean you have to do it that way, but figure it out. I want to be a millionaire, but you dead set on the fact that you're going to get there by selling hats. Okay, what millionaires have sold hats? Go find the system, go watch a YouTube video, go purchase their business plan or masterclass and learn from them. If you don't want to do that, then you may not have the structure to be a millionaire selling hats. But what happens in the process when you vet what actually works and what structures and systems may work for you as an engineering student, okay? In your degree, internships for some of you who may be approaching that milestone for yourself before graduation or afterwards, okay? You need to figure out what structures and systems help you get to the high-paying job, okay? To financial freedom, to the lifestyle you want, to being around the types of people that you want, to driving the type of car that you want to drive, to living the life that you want to live. But you got to know what that looks like. You have to know what to implement to get there, not just your purpose. Because your purpose will keep you motivated and give you energy. You got energy doing the wrong stuff. Don't do it. I've seen it way too many times, all right? And then practice. You know your why, you have your system. Now, how will you show up consistently? Not just right before the test, okay? Not just right before the deadline. How do you show up every day to take care and nurture the life you say you want and the life that you say you're fighting for through your purpose? Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Move on. I know y'all hungry. Next framework. Take a picture of it. This is our clarity model. Anybody want to make a fancy poster out of this on Pinterest? Let me know. I'll buy it. Look like you make a good poster. Core values. Okay. The C, define what matters most to you, aligns with purpose. Your legacy goals, where are you headed long term? Okay. And here's why we talk about long term, because long term and short term both matter. Who's here engineering? Everybody engineer? Most people? Okay, about half the room. Do y'all know what reverse engineering means? Have y'all heard of that term?
Yeah.
Yes? Anybody want to take a shot and describe it for the group? Go ahead.
First, just breaking it back down to like the different parts that compose of it in the first place.
Excellent. Clap them up. Excellent. So reverse engineering, you start at the end goal and you move backwards to see what step was necessary before you got to the next one. Because at sometimes we know where we at, clear as day. Look in the mirror and see it. And then we looking to see where we want to be, but we have no idea how to get there. Which is why you start at where you want to be and to figure out before that happened, what was required right before that end goal, right? So if Usain Bolt, right, the fastest dude in the world as of now, right? If he wanted to run 9-something seconds in the 100, or if he wanted to break the world record, what happens right before he breaks the world record? Well, he probably runs that day. And what happens in order to get him to that day? Well, let's see. You got to eat this way. You got to train this way. You got to go to sleep at this time. You have to be around this type of training group. So your network has to be a certain thing to keep your mental and your physical intact. And then before that, he probably had to sacrifice a lot of his life in order to commit to what he was going to need to do to get to the day, to run that fast, to be the greatest of all time, right? And sports figures are easy because we see them the most. But think about somebody in your field, somebody you look up to, maybe a professor, okay? Maybe another professional, maybe someone that you like to listen to for motivation. Look and learn, listen to what they've done, apply it to yourself and your core values and your goals to make progress so that you know how to get to where you want to get to long term. Action steps for A, break the big goal into small wins. Yeah, this is my favorite one. How many people keep playing? Okay. Keep playing. Like a planner. Like a little book.
That's right.
Book. I see some, he smirking. He ready. Oh, I got one. That count, huh? For sure. I've been keeping a planner since 2008. All right. My freshman year of college was 2006. First 2 years, I ain't know no better. Okay. Then after that, I started writing down every single thing because I could look at that and say, all right, I thought I wanted to do all these things today. I didn't get to do them all. So out of the 10 things I thought I was going to do, I still did 8. I still made forward progress because I know sometimes for some of you, you feel like you might be spinning your wheels or you feel like, man, like I talk to many students. Anybody freshmen? Any freshmen in the room? No. Okay, good. So y'all done been there, done that. Cool. So let me talk a little noise. I sit in front of a lot of freshmen who don't know their grade in the class. I sit in front of a bunch of freshmen who have no idea how they're progressing. And it's because they don't track it, because they don't have a system. There's no structure, okay? So how you nurture your daily goals and your micro goals and your micro transitions in life, that helps not only keep you motivated, but it keeps you protected and it keeps to make sure that you are always making progress, okay? So break your big goal, whether that be your big daily goal, your big weekly goal, your big 90-day goal, your annual goals, break them down into small daily wins. Even if that daily win is you waking up on time, you not hitting the snooze more than once, okay? Count it, okay? Getting your oil changed on time for those who drive, all right? Keeping your car off E. You know what I'm saying? Paying your bills on time, no matter how small the bill is, okay? Small wins, daily habits, that integrity that helps us reach long-term goals. Because as I tell my students, how you do anything is how you do everything. If you don't believe it, start paying attention to how you do stuff. It'll show up everywhere. All right. Routine systems, build structure into your days. We just touched on that. We'll move on. Okay. Identity alignment, make choices that match your values. Make choices that match what you say is important to you. If you say you want this thing, and that thing is not aligned with you staying up late, and you party, and you being reckless with your time, you probably should check the alignment of what you're doing in your activities, all right? That even goes for good things. Sometimes it could be, hey, my mom called, she wanted to sit on the phone for an hour, but I gotta study. So that's not aligned. I'm gonna have to holler at you. Let's hang it up and be like, but oh man, the signal, you know, I'm on campus, so I go in and out, the Wi-Fi, the regular. All right, so tracking progress, measure your weekly momentum. All right, anybody social media people in here? Kind of sort of. Snapchat sometimes. Okay, word. So if you're an influencer, right? So consider yourself the influencer of your life. You don't have to try to influence nobody else, but consider yourself the influencer of your life. Okay, your life is your business. You have to track your data, your analytics, and your progress to success. You do that every week by maintaining your planner, checking to see how many things you got done, reviewing your grades, looking at your syllabus to see how much you've completed and how much is coming up. How many emails did you send? How many new people did you meet? How many connections did you make, whether they be mentally or physically? How many days did you get to exercise or work out? You don't have to try to conquer the world in the gym, but how well did you take care of your heart this week? Okay, it matters. Network, surround yourself with accountability. This entire room is your accountability. If you're in this room right now, it's because you want something better than what you currently have. And what you currently have does not have to be bad. But if you're in this room, you want something better. So surround yourself with people who want something better. I know some people in here have probably heard the quote, you hang out with two broke people, you'll be the third. Right? No, for sure. Because they're gonna be, oh, bro, you got me? Yeah, man, I got you. Yeah, we homies, we tight. And be like, oh man, I ran out of money. I got no money either because you was paying for us, right? It's the same thing on a positive note. You hang out with two rich people, at some point, you're gonna be rich too. Because they're not gonna deal with you if you're not doing what they're doing. So that's gonna force you into habits and alignment that match your core values, that let you know where you're going long term, which breaks up everything into small wins, maintain structure for your day, helps you build weekly momentum so you can continue to surround yourself with not only accountability, but progress and success. Cool? Make sense? Move on, we get hard. Turning purpose into action, from thought to task. Take a picture of this. Yeah. All right, so this is everybody's personal homework. Personal homework for yourself. This is different for everybody. Take one major goal, okay? Whether it be finish the week strong, whether it be graduate on this specific day and time, whether it be connect with 2 family members, whatever the major goal is, take it and break it into 3 actionable steps today before you go to sleep. Figure it out. And identify one behavior you can start today. This example right here. Want to improve my grades? All right, cool. That means I need to schedule study blocks. I need to sign up for tutoring, tsu.upswing.io. Okay, join a study group, all right? Create one. There's people in this room you can study with if you need that. I tell all my students, every time a class starts, form a study group for each class. Fire it up. You'll be surprised how much you can get done. But that's just one example. Because remember, progress beats perfection. Because the closer you think you're getting to perfection, you got to remember that you're continuing to level up. So perfection continues to inch forward or inch higher, and you keep chasing it through progress. So you might end up, you're perfect today, okay? In a few years from now, you might look back and be like, man, I thought I was doing it. I'm doing it now. And where some of y'all are today, you dreamed about being when you were a child. Or maybe just last year, depending on where you were in your life. So remember, that progress that you've made to get here today will always weigh more than you aiming for perfection, okay? It's greater than that, all right? Discipline is self-care. It is not punishment. It is protection, okay? Discipline is not punishment. I know some of y'all be like, man, it feel like it when I'm studying for that, or when I gotta go do this, or when that auto pay come out. Feel like punishment to me. I'd rather do something different. So trust me, it's protection. Because if that insurance ain't paid and somebody wanna smack you when you get up out of here today, you're gonna wish you had a little bit more discipline, okay? To keep yourself protected. Systems keep you from depending on what you feel like doing in that moment. Because there's been plenty of times, including myself, or I didn't feel like going to class. I didn't feel like going to work. Especially today, I woke up cold. I'm like, oh, no. My little girl was still asleep. I'm like, yeah, we can both sleep. It's just, we good, but no, gotta get up. Systems keep you from depending on motivation, keep yourself protected. When you structure your time, you honor your goals, you honor who you are, you honor those who are counting on you, even if you think you don't have nobody counting on you. You don't have to have children to have someone counting on you, okay? You don't have to have these overt external responsibilities of somebody you taking care of because they sick and all this other stuff for somebody to be counting on you. Your goals are aligned with your legacy and your purpose. If you don't structure yourself, have systems to protect yourself and remain disciplined, that will fall short and you will not care for that. Own your season. What's my next step forward through clarity? Make sure you write it down before the day ends and you don't have to figure it out alone. Brainstorm, talk to each other. All right, that's all I got.